This is CNN Breaking News.
Hello again, welcome back to the Kenosha News. I'm Bob Jones reporting live from the Pepsi Hills News Center. Today is the day we've all been waiting for decades now in Wisconsin. The court case of the federal government and the state on which one has greater responsibility for their people. This is going to be the biggest court case, honestly one of the biggest events in state's history. Let's see who wins. Let's do this thing.
Mr. Powell, we're ready for you.
Okay. Let's do this thing.
All rise for the Honorable and new Judge, Dylan Powell.
Okay, thank you, officer. This state-changing court case is about to begin. But first, I would like everybody to stand for the United States Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the United States
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's begin this court case between the federal government and the state's own government. So Mr. Saul Goodman, you're representing the federal government and their powers and responsibilities?
Your Honor.
Mr. Megan, you're representing the Wisconsin government and their responsibilities and powers?
With great pleasure, Your Honor.
Before we start, I would like to recap the history of both governments. The federal government that started in 1776 with the Declaration of Independence that began a new nation of seeking self-governance. And the Wisconsin's government starting with the first territorial legislature met in Vermont, Wisconsin, 1836. The legislature established the state's judicial system, passed 42 laws, and chose Madison as the permanent capital city. This court case is to see which government's powers are going to be influencing Wisconsin the most throughout the presidential race of Donald J. Trump. Which we haven't had a court case that could change the government's powers since March 2nd, 1824, when the Gibsons versus Ogans case concluded that the role of the federal government is to regulate commerce, that the state governments cannot develop their own commerce regulating laws. Now, with that out of the way, who would like to go first?
I will go first, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Trump, go ahead, I guess.
Everyone, our main goal with these responsibilities is to make this world and this state great again, as it was, and I'll make sure of that goal because we have the best responsibilities, the best team. I am the best. We all know this. I'm even supporting the new school in this area by jockeys.
But, Mr. Trump, I need to know the powers and responsibilities that will make them better than the state governments.
Well, there's better. That's all I can say, Your Honor.
Well then, who wants to go next?
I will go, Your Honor.
Well, okay, Mr. Evers, go on right ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, our responsibilities with Wisconsin has more importance for most of our people because of our responsibilities are for Wisconsin's education, their health care, licensing, and regulations that they need in order to live. Well, the federal government is basically for businessmen. All I'm saying is that the responsibilities that we have to our people are more important to their lives and their future than the federal government.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Evers, for that speech.
Your Honor, I'd like to call President Trump to the stand.
Go on right ahead, Mr. Milligan.
Oh, crap. Okay.
President Trump, do you swear by Almighty God that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So, President Trump, what can you say about your responsibilities to the people? And don't just say that they are just better. We need a better explanation than for someone from my old high school government class.
Well, responsibilities are some good stuff like establishing copyright laws and patents. We have the right to raise and to support our armies. We establish rules of immigration, regulating a postal system, and some other good ones. I'll make sure of this. Everybody here knows it. Even you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Trump. And do you think any of these would help the people today in the year of 2025?
Well, yeah, they would. They would. Declaring war and supporting our armies, especially with the world we see today, with what has been happening to other countries, and that's why I came in, to make this world great again, just like the United States, just like the beautiful state of Wisconsin. And with the immigration that would help bring people that need homes from other countries here to where we are today.
Okay, I understand that, Trump, but what about this state in particular?
Well, not in particular in Wisconsin.
Okay, so nothing for education, nothing for anything in this state, other than the protection of this country. It's great for this country, but I don't know for just Wisconsin. I'm sorry. I'm gonna adopt a couple points.
No.
So overall, the responsibilities are for the country, not just the state.
Yes, that is correct.
That is all, Your Honor.
Your Honor, since Mr. Megan called my client to the stand, then I would like to call Tony Evers to the stand.
Go on right ahead, Mr. Goodman.
Do you swear by Almighty God that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
So, Mr. Evers, can you tell me what responsibility you and your government have for Wisconsin?
Well, there's establishing local governments, issuing licenses for marriage, driving another license. We have the power to run elections for our state. We have support of public health care for our people. We set laws for the legal drinking and smoking ages and to create constitutions.
Smell good. Okay, and do you think that these powers are good for the people of Wisconsin?
Yes, pretty much everything I just said is important for our people. With public health care, all the licenses you need in life for anything, the law for the ages of drinking and smoking, pretty much everything you need in life.
Alright, that's all I needed for you. Get out of here, you fine-looking kitty cat, you.
Highly unprofessional.
Okay, everybody. Now it's time to see what the jury has to say, to tell how these powers affect their everyday lives. So that both of you can make a final conclusion, and so that me and the jury can make the final verdict. So, which one of you three would like to start?
I can, Your Honor.
So for you, what do these powers help you with most in your life?
For me personally, brah, I think the federal's powers do protect the country. The powers of the state government have the things that I need in my life, like licenses as an example. So personally, both have benefits and downsides to some people, but it all depends on the person, dude.
Thank you. And for you, I will ask the same question to you.
Okay then.
So for you, what powers have helped you the most from either side? And from the job you have as a businessman, no spaces.
Well, for me, the copyright power of the federal government is pretty useful for our work. And with the foreign trade and the immigration policies, the federal government does have better powers for certain jobs, especially mine.
And you, soldier, what do these powers do to help your life? And which one is more important to you?
Well, with my time in the Army, the public health care was really useful, keeping me alive during my time with the federal government only sending us to battles. Mostly, I think I need the state government's powers in my life.
And thank you for your service.
You're welcome, warriors. Okay, thank you for being here, you three. And for each side, would like to make a final speech so me and the court can make a final verdict.
May I go first, Your Honor?
All right, go on ahead, Mr. Goodman.
So, gentlemen, as I now realize there's no women in this courtroom. I don't know why. Tony didn't think that. But besides the point is for my client. Donald J. Trump has the most useful and important position in this nation. For this country, that it shouldn't be about just Wisconsin. It should be for the whole country. The entirety of the United States should be protected from what's out there in the world. For the past few years, even U.S. adults broadly agree that it is the federal government's role to provide clean air, water, and high-quality K-12 education.
It's better for all Americans.
It's better for all Americans. And with those other powers the federal government has, makes this country, like my client says, and this state, great again. So jury and judge, when you decide, think of which will affect the most. That is all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Goodman. And now for Mr. Megan.
So, gentlemen, and the ladies and gentlemen that are watching this broadcast right now, I could seriously say that my client, Tony Evers, has what most people need in their lives that can even be better for the normal civilians of our country. But for sure, the state of Wisconsin. Even in 2016, results showed 55 choosing the state government powers than the federal government. Mr. Trump wants to make this state great again, but it already has been great because of Mr. Evers and what the state government has the powers of. That is all I have, Your Honor. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Megan. Now I think it's time to have the jury decide on the final verdict on which government's powers Wisconsin's going to be influenced the most by. So, I'll let you have a couple minutes to decide what the final verdict is. So, jury, do you have a final verdict?
Yes, we do.
And the one?
Who has the most important powers of Wisconsin is
Tony Evers and the Wisconsin government.
The court lies to the Wisconsin's government.
Don't worry, Mr. President. You'll get a next court case. There's going to be many.
You know what, Mr. Goodman? I think that you are the best lawyer. In fact, you are the best simply because everyone knows you are. It's just like my administration. We all know it.
I appreciate it, Mr. President.
Nice job, Mr. Patrick Bateman.
You are very much welcome, Mr. Tony Evers. Hello? An attack on the school. I'll be right there.
Why am I getting text? Oh, Court absurd!